लाल किले से भारत के प्रथम प्रधानमंत्री ने जो कहा था वो पढ़ रहा हूं, नेहरू जी ने। उन्होंने कहा था, हिंदुस्तान में काफी मेहनत करने की आदत आम तौर से नहीं है। ये न समझिए कि वह कौमें कोई जादू से खुशहाल हो गई, वो मेहनत से हुई है और अक्ल से हुई है। ये उनको सर्टिफिकेट दे रहे हैं, भारत के लोगों को नीचा दिखा रहे हैं। यानी नेहरू जी की भारतीयों के प्रति सोच थी कि भारतीय आलसी है। नेहरू जी की भारतीयों के लिए सोच थी कि भारतीय कम अक्ल के लोग होते हैं। लाल किले से 15 अगस्त को इंदिरा जी ने कहा था, दुर्भाग्यवश हमारी आदत ये है कि जब कोई शुभ काम पूरा होने को होता है तो हम आत्मतुष्टि की भावना से ग्रस्त हो जाते हैं, और जब कोई कठिनाई आ जाती है तो हम नाउम्मीद हो जाते हैं। आज कांग्रेस के लोगों को देख करके लगता है कि इंदिरा जी भले देश के लोगों का आकलन सही न कर पाए, लेकिन कांग्रेस का एकदम सटीक आकलन उन्होंने किया। एक ही प्रोडक्ट बार बार लॉन्च करने के चक्कर में कांग्रेस की दुकान ताला लगने की नौबत आ गई है। अरे दुकान हम नहीं कह रहे, आप लोग कह रहे हैं। आप लोग कहते हैं दुकान खोलिए, सब जगह पे बोलते हैं, दुकान को ताला लगने की बात आई।
Direct attack on the dynasty from Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru to Indira Gandhi to the मोहब्बत की दुकान, where the Prime Minister says ताला लगने की नौबत आ गई है। तहसीन पूनावाला respond to the criticism that the opposition is weakened and the opposition leadership is weak, and that is why the government and the Prime Minister actually are steamrolling ahead.
The opposition, of course, is weakened. There's no doubt about it. But it's been weakened by a number of factors, including agencies whose misuse the Prime Minister spoke about or tried to hide behind, but it's been terrible. So the opposition is weakened. I won't deny that on your show. I mean, I do television 5 hours a day, and 99% of the shows that I do over the last 10 years blame the opposition for everything, and that's the reality of the times we're living in. But that's not an excuse why that I want to get behind. Look, you can attack all the former Prime Ministers. That's fine. The fact of the matter is the Prime Minister didn't speak about his achievements of demonetization. Why didn't he speak about it? Why didn't he say that when he went to South Korea, he said, nobody was proud to be born in India? So the Prime Minister has also made utterances which should not have been made by anybody sitting in a constitutional post. In my opinion, everybody who's been Prime Minister, including our current Prime Minister, does not want to do anything bad in the country. In hindsight, mistakes happen. Prime Minister Modi's made mistakes. Demonetization was a terrible mistake that caused a lot of suffering. The sudden lockdown caused 130 odd deaths. It was a sudden, and it caused terrible suffering. But you understand the larger picture. You understand the larger
You're
good.
silent on that Mohabbat ki dukan being band. You know, I want to, for the moment, stay on the specific charges that are being made today. You and I have debated this several times. I thought we'll discuss on the topics that are, that are points that are being made today.
Sure, I can talk on the Mohabbat ki dukan. Just 10 seconds. 10 seconds, I'll just say.
Go on,
sir. Shadid, do you want me to speak or you? No problem. I'll take 10 seconds. The Prime Minister may wish that the Congress shuts down, but the Congress is India's political party. It is a party that in a lot of ways is the soul of this country. He may wish the soul of this country is trampled upon. It won't happen. Okay. Yes, the Congress is going through a tough time, but believe me, the Congress will emerge stronger. It does need to set the narrative correct, but the wish of the Prime Minister to see a Congress Mukt Bharat, that is India without a soul, will not happen.
Okay, you're saying Congress is soul of Bharat, but does the Prime Minister actually want Congress Mukt Bharat, or Shazia Ilmi, is the Prime Minister really very keen to ensure that Rahul Gandhi remains the face of the opposition, because then it very directly becomes Rahul Gandhi versus Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Shazia Ilmi?
I really think we should raise the bar, especially when it comes to talking about a party which is led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. It's this mentality and this pettiness, which is the reason why the opposition can't comprehend the agenda of BJP, which is a secure, prosperous India and a better India. And I think this is where there is a lack of understanding.
No, but why this desperation,
So,
as the opposition says,
so I,
why don't you talk about your achievements instead of criticizing Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru and Indira Gandhi? Shashi Tharoor says Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru has been dead for over 60 years.
No, but we do talk about. So, Prime Minister did talk about 25 crore Indians being lifted out of multidimensional poverty. 25 crores? Can you even think of that? And tell me something, when you're talking about 80 crore Indians getting free rations, 25 crore Indians getting out of multi-dimensional poverty, when you're looking at the great strides that have been made in the social sector and health sector, when you look at whether it's, I mean, I can go on and on. There's a whole list I can read out and tell you. And whether it's Ujjwala or it's Swanidhi or it's Vishwakarma Yojana, I mean, or it's Ponhar Yojana or Hunar Yojana. I mean, I can just go on and it will just, you won't have that much time.
I want to understand from Amitabh this targeting of the Gandhi family, the Nehru-Gandhi family.
I want to answer that. Tell me something, when you're talking about, they're saying we're not talking about what is BJP's agenda. 60 years or, six decades versus 1 decade. Do you not think that governance at that point of time, or the administration or the lack of it, or the huge mistakes that have led us to where we are since 10 years should be talked about? Shouldn't there be a hisab kitab and an audit, a political audit of what has gone on in terms of policies, the promise and the delivery, and where the common man or woman stands today? So if the Prime Minister is raising the question, it's very important.
Okay, quick one line before I bring in Mr. Tiwari. Go on, Mr. Poonawalla.
My dear friend Shazia, I have a lot of respect for her, but when she says 6 decades versus 1 decade, that 6 decades include a decade of Atal Bihari Vajpayee, 11 years Prime Minister. So the BJP of today even chooses to run down Atal Bihari Vajpayee because the Congress government.
No, I'm talking about 6 decades.
But please, Shajaji, I just take one line. Shajaji, I have not interrupted you. Just one line more. Just one line. I want to speak. When you say that the health indicators have improved and you speak about the multidimensional poverty report, please understand that not only were these indicators flawed, but today our country, and Gaurav, your viewers are free to again reach out to your social media, is suffering a massive pandemic of heart attacks caused by malnutrition in our country, which is the highest. You may laugh at it, Shazia ji, that's your right. 80 crore Indians, if you're going to be feed them, Shazia ji, please let my points come across. Shazia ji, please allow my points to come across.
I want to bring in Amitabh into this conversation because I'm focusing on what the Prime Minister has said today very specifically. And Amitabh Tiwari, is this an attempt to, while the Prime Minister may talk of Congress Mukt Bharat, the BJP is very keen that the Congress remains and it becomes a Rahul Gandhi versus Narendra Modi election. Is that what this entire attempt, even in Lok Sabha today, was, Mr. Tiwari?
See, in every Hindi movie, you have to have, the hero has to have or defeats the villain in the end, correct? So I'm not comparing Rahul Gandhi to villain, but he has to show his charisma and defeat somebody, correct? So in political strategy, when you prop up somebody, this is part of a strategy to propping up somebody so that it becomes, or Rahul Gandhi becomes the direct challenger or the one-to-one competitor to Narendra Modi in this election, because Narendra Modi or the Prime Minister realizes that he leads by far in popularity ratings versus Rahul Gandhi, and he needs a punching bag also of sorts when he goes to the election. See, whenever any performance is tom-tommed by any government, for the lack of any word, it has to be comparative. It cannot be absolute. Absolute does not mean anything. Okay. And what Modi ji has done over the years is that he has, from the start of his tenure, tried to set the narrative that his 10-year performance has been better than the combined performance of all the prime ministers, including his prime minister or his government of the BJP. And by doing so, what he does is that he does not only compare his performance with Manmohan Singh's government performance, but with all the prime ministers combined, and that if the voter is convinced, sends a very big message that his development is by far much more than everybody combined together.